Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Froggy Enthusiast. Am I the a-hole for not telling my friend my shampoo had green hair dye in it? I'm a guy with a bright green mohawk. I've had green hair for a while. I have to use a lot of hairspray to get it to stick up, so I have to wash my hair almost every day. This makes the green fade pretty fast, so I mix green hair dye with my shampoo and conditioner to make the color last longer. This is a common thing people with colored hair do. Anyways, one of my friends stayed the night at my apartment after a show we went to because she missed her bus. In the morning, she asked if she could shower. She obviously didn't have anything of hers because she hadn't planned to stay the night, so I let her use my stuff. I showed her how to use my shower and told her to use my husband's shampoo and conditioner because mine is for my green hair. She said, okay. I gave her a towel, left, and she took a shower. When she came out, I heard her gasp and scream, and I asked her if she was okay. She started screaming that her hair was green, and sure enough, her blonde hair had green splotches all throughout. I asked her why she used my shampoo and conditioner when I told her it was for my green hair, and she said she thought I meant it was a good, special shampoo and I just wanted to keep it for myself and that I should have specifically told her it had green dye in it. For context, the bottles are pink and opaque, but the caps are clear and are now stained green. The liquid inside is also green from the dye. I told her I thought it was obvious what I meant, but if she didn't fully understand me, she should have just respected my things enough to not use them simply because I told her. She did not like that. Now she won't talk to me and is telling all our other friends I'm an a-hole for not telling her about the dye. Maybe I could have been more specific, but I don't know. I don't think I'm the a-hole here. Am I the a-hole? No, Opie, of course you're not the a-hole. First, you let her stay the night at your house. Then, you let her shower. You told her, use my husband's thing because mine are for my green hair. She took this to mean that you were being greedy with her, and she decided to use it anyway. I'm sorry, but this is a textbook case of F around and find out. So no, you're not the a-hole. Now, if it bothers you that she's telling every other friend that you're an a-hole for not telling her about the dye, you could try to counter the narrative, but it's gonna end up being a he said, she said type of situation that is complicated. But still, no, you're not the a-hole. You gave her a proper heads up and she still decided to use it because she thought you were holding out on her. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's check out the community comments. Dystopia says, quote, I used the shampoo you told me not to use because I thought you were gatekeeping. End quote. Lol, not the a-hole. Illustrator Slow 1614 says, not the a-hole. This wasn't her grabbing the wrong bottle by mistake. She intentionally used your stuff because she thought you were gatekeeping fancy shampoo, even though it's your right to keep your products for yourself and not have to share with guests. She deserves the messed up hair. White Knight Primal says, not the a-hole. I mean, I'd assume by what you said that the shampoo and conditioner was designed to protect and strengthen dyed hair, not that it had dye in the bottle. But that's not really the point. You outright told her to use your husband's shampoo and conditioner, not yours. And she chose to use yours anyway. Saying she thought yours was special actually makes it worse because that also means more expensive and you have to replace it quicker than usual because of her, when you outright told her not to use it in the first place. That shows a distinct lack of respect for both your belongings and your money, and most importantly, you as a person. Having splotchy green hair is her own fault. You told her not to use your shampoo and conditioner, and that's all the warning she needs not to use it. This is the consequence of her deliberately choosing to do the one thing you told her not to. She's lucky, really, that it's simple temporary dye that essentially washes out. It'll just take a few washes to get there. It could have been one of the permanent ones that have to grow out. She can go home and wash her hair multiple times until the dye is gone instead of having to grow it out or dye over it. Hardly a big deal. But this is totally on her because you did warn her. You may not have said this contains hair dye, but you did say don't use this, and that's more than enough. Admasabar says, quote, she thought I meant it was good as special shampoo and I just wanted to keep it for myself and that I should have especially told her it had green dye in it, end quote. Good Lord, no, not the a-hole. Special for you could mean bad for her for any reason. Anyway, someone who faults you for not being completely honest. Edit. Not that I even agree with her, solely because they stole from you, an act of greater dishonesty is not one to pay attention to. And Planet of the Pancakes says, as someone with colored shampoo and conditioner too, minus purple, how did she not realize there was dye in it when she squirted it in her hand and rinsed her hair? Like, please explain that to me. It's beyond obvious when shampoo or conditioner have dye added. It's not like you can mistake it for normal stuff. She is dumb and stupid and untrustworthy. You're not the a-hole. Well, the community definitely agrees OP is not the a-hole, and OP did share a picture of the bottle, and you can see on the cap it is green. Now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. I know that everyone says this, but man, I did not expect my previous post to blow up so much. Some people have been asking for an update. I'm sorry it took so long, but I honestly forgot all about it until I saw a TikTok of some people on a podcast covering my story, lol. Before I get into the update, I'd like to clear a few things up. Firstly, yes, I am a guy, and yes, I have a husband. It's this new thing called gay. If you haven't heard of it, I suggest looking it up on Google. Secondly, a couple people were accusing me of this story being fake because I put hair dye in my shampoo and conditioner when apparently you're only supposed to put it in your conditioner, as putting hair dye in your shampoo doesn't do anything to maintain the color. I assure you this story is true. I'm just a effing idiot who likes to waste hair dye apparently. I posted pictures of my mohawk and conditioner bottle to my profile. I hope that's sufficient evidence for the Reddit skeptics. On to the update. Exactly one of the commenters hit the nail right on the head with their prediction. A few days after the incident, my friend texted me saying she was sorry for blowing up on me and that it was entirely her fault she messed up her hair and she just took it out on me because she was upset in the moment. She said I was right. She should have respected my things, and now we're cool. I think she saw the TikTok and the post and the comments. I know that must be really disappointing to you all. I got a lot of really harsh comments saying that she was a terrible friend and a terrible person, and she must have mental disabilities, and that she's too stupid to be allowed to live. You guys are effing nuts, LMAO. I've been wronged in much worse ways. Stealing a little shampoo is not the end of the world for me. A lot of you were curious as to how she didn't realize the shampoo and conditioner was green, and I was too, so I asked her. She said she did notice it was green, but thought it was like that purple shampoo that doesn't actually turn your hair purple. It just makes it a nice blonde. This was her first time being blonde, so I guess a green-tinted shampoo was not beyond her imagination. The bottle also says something about color protection on them, so I guess that makes sense. As for her hair, she tried using color remover to get the green out, and that kinda worked, but some spots were still a little minty green, so now her hair is this lovely royal blue color, which I personally think looks much better on her. Thank you all for listening to my story, and I implore some of you to be a little more forgiving in the future. Stealing a little shampoo from your friend's shower does not make you Satan. You're absolutely right, OP. It doesn't make you Satan. But it does suck that she did it just because she thought you were gatekeeping the shampoo like some commenters said. It's still good to know that everything is good between you and you're still friends. So here's wishing you the best, OP. Thanks so much for sharing and take care. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user MinoSmartGuy. Am I the a-hole for declining my ex's dinner invitation after she broke up with me right before my birthday? I, 39 male, was dating a woman, we'll call her Amy, 38 female, for about 5 months. We saw each other at least once a week, usually Saturdays, and things felt consistent and good to me. A couple of weeks ago, out of nowhere, she broke up with me over a text. Her reasoning was that she never realized how important working out and spending time with her friends is to her after I mentioned something to her. I don't recall what I said, and that perhaps she is meant to be single. She said I was a catch, but still ended things. She also mentioned she noticed signs that we weren't compatible a while ago. Not sure what she meant about that. She also mentioned she wanted to be friends, but I responded that I wasn't interested at this time, but maybe in the future when I was ready. This came completely out of left field for me. It also happened about 4 weeks before my birthday. The week she ended our relationship, she had prior trips planned to Vegas one weekend with her best friend and Miami the next with some other friends, so we weren't going to see each other for a few weeks. She's a social butterfly and collects friends like Pokemon. For some context on me, I went through a really rough breakup about a year and a half ago with my ex-fiancé. We were together for 9 years. I moved across the country back home with my family to reset. This was my first relationship after the breakup, and we never fought or argued. We usually had a good time together. I wasn't in a rush to move out because I've enjoyed the support and spending time with my mom after living away for so long. I've been helping out at home. We help take care of each other's dogs, and I've been fixing up her house with some much-needed repairs. I used to be a contractor, but I knew I needed to get my own place sooner rather than later. After she ended things, I decided to focus on myself. I quit drinking, I've been eating healthier, exercising daily, and I picked up a part-time evening job, 6 nights a week, to fill my evenings and save to furnish my apartment when I do eventually move out. It's a physically demanding job, and I've lost about 20 pounds in a short period of time. I'm sure quitting alcohol helped a bit too. Dating again isn't something I'm currently interested in right now. Well, a few days ago, the day she returned from Miami, she texted me saying she wanted to take me out to dinner at a restaurant we went together once, one I really liked. She said she had thought about sending a gift card for my birthday, but would rather take me out instead. I declined and told her I appreciated the offer, but I had picked up a side job in the evenings and wouldn't be available. This is true. She responded saying the offer is open anytime, not just around my birthday. Here's where I'm conflicted. Part of me feels guilty for not offering another time or at least considering it. But at the same time, the way she ended things suddenly over text and now trying to take me out to dinner feels confusing. It seems disrespectful to just end things over a text after spending 5 months together with someone. I feel like it's more for her than for me. I don't really have any desire to be friends or reopen anything at this point, but I don't want to be an a-hole. I do still care about her. So, am I the a-hole for declining and not trying to reschedule? Well, OP, no, in my opinion, you're not the a-hole. It was very rude of her to break up with you over text. You don't do that. If you're going to break up with someone, at least have the courage to break up with them face to face. Unless you're in a very toxic situation with an abuser or something like that. But if you're in a normal relationship, then no. Now, regarding your case, you don't seem to really want to hang out with her again. Doesn't matter if the invitation is open or not. So if you just want to move on and let her move on, you could send her a message and say, hey, you know what? No, this is not going to happen. Take care. Have a good life. Bye. Of course, you don't have to do that, but you did say you still cared about her. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's check out the community comments. Popular Contract 8962 says, not the a-hole. She break up over text and now wants dinner? That's not friendship. That's keeping you on the shelf. Keep doing what you're doing. Hi Ostrich says, I bet she had a whale of a time in Miami and Vegas. Got to sample all the local delicacies that she had to break up with you to enjoy, right? Don't even entertain this, my guy. Not the a-hole. Judgy Random Webbyzen says, she broke up with you before her trip so she could go out and party with other guys. Now she's back. She's fishing to see if you're still interested and available. Not the a-hole. You can do better. Yeah, you dummy says, I think I can clear this up for you. She dumped you right before going on 2 different girl trips, to Vegas and Miami, so she could hook up with guys and not feel guilty about cheating. She never planned to stay broken up. She knew there was a good chance you'd still be single when she came back, and she was right. Now she's trying to draw you back in because you're a stable, steady, low-risk guy. But you shouldn't let her. She will do things like this over and over, so don't give her the chance. Not the a-hole. And Ride Jack Ride says, not the a-hole. Maybe she likes parts of you and not others. Most likely, she views you as a placeholder until she finds a guy with all likable parts. But one alternative is worse. She has one of the relationship styles where she avoids actual emotional intimacy by breaking up before things get too serious for her comfort. Don't rule out another factor either way. She has a friend network and they talk about the guys they're seeing. She might have done you no favors by describing your life situation resulting in negativity from the squad. She may actually like you, but once a close friend says you're not the one, you may wind up into the recreational use only box. Avoidance and RUO status are fun for Saturday night, but useless if you're looking for anything substantial. It would be interesting to ask her why she's knocking after closing the door herself. The majority of the community has the theory that she broke up with him to go party on the trips, which does seem plausible. But anyways, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Thanks everyone. I sent her a message and she responded to trying to make me feel guilty for my short response after she broke up with me. I said, hey, I've been thinking about your offer to take me out for my birthday or any time after, and I just don't think it's a good idea. The way you ended things after being together for 5 months over text really hurt, and I felt like I deserved at least a conversation face to face. I'm not sure if this is for closure for you or whatever, but I don't need that. I've accepted it and I'm working on myself now. I do still care about you, but right now I just need to prioritize myself and focus on my goals. Seeing you wouldn't be good for me at this point. I did genuinely enjoy the time we spent together. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for, and I wish you the best. She responded, hey, I completely understand and will respect that. I am sorry that I broke up with you by text. I struggled with that because I didn't want you making that drive over here only to end things. A phone conversation would have been ideal, but we had never spoken on the phone before, so it felt unnatural. Yikes, the rationalizations are ridiculous. I also still care about you, and yes, I wanted a chance to talk face to face because your response was so short, and it also hurt. But I definitely understand if you don't need closure. I also genuinely wish nothing but good things for you. That's it, guys. Thanks. Well, Peep, if she wanted closure, she definitely got it from your message, and I think that's good enough. She broke up with you by message, you gave her closure by message. Here's wishing you the best, OP. Keep working on yourself. Thanks for sharing and take care. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge and it's by user PowerfulGain972. Won't move your car? Enjoy the hour wait and a car accident. The other day, I, 25 male, was delivering fuel to a gas station. This station was set up where the tank access lids are right by the parking spots. For me to be in a position to dump fuel, I need to block all of the parking spots in front of the building. There's usually a car or two in the way, and I can usually patiently wait until I'm cleared to pull in. If it's a busy time of day, I put cones up as cars leave to prevent anyone else from pulling in until I've moved into position. But this time, a lady in a Tesla absolutely couldn't handle parking 50 feet away and had to move my cone to park right in front of the door. I hopped out my truck and went inside to ask her to move so I could deliver the gas, and she told me, "Get bent, you can wait until I'm done here." So I pulled my truck in behind her and about 2 inches to spare between my car axles and her bumper. I set my brakes and began hooking up hoses to unload. Since I couldn't park in the ideal position, my large 3-inch hose was too short to reach the hole, so I used my 2-inch hose, which is longer but does limit flow rate by about 33%. No sooner than 5 seconds after I've opened my valve to start the fuel delivery, she comes out screaming that she's in a hurry and I need to move my truck before she calls the cops for harassment. I told her, "Get bent. You can wait until I'm done here." She asked me how long it would take. I informed her that normally it would take about 45 minutes, but because I had to use my smaller hose, I figured about an hour and 15 minutes. She stormed off, got in her car, and called the cops. About 10 minutes later, 2 officers arrive and ask what the problem is. She wants me arrested for harassment. Gas station employee sides with me, saying the woman was rude and belligerent and I'm just here to do my job. The cops tell her she's just going to have to wait and they leave. I took my sweet time unloading and doing my paperwork. All total, she waited an hour and a half before I moved my truck when I left. As I was waiting to pull out of the parking lot, she zoomed around me and pulled out into the street, directly into the path of oncoming traffic. She was T-boned by a lifted pickup with heavy-duty cattle guard bumper. Her Tesla was totaled. The pickup was completely unscathed. She was not injured, but I almost had an asthma attack from laughing so hard. Laughing crying face. Willoughby, this was awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. But I think Saul Goodman also has something to say about it.
They moved the cone? What kind of asshole moves a cone?
And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.